Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Robert Phoenix. What's happening? So let me change my settings here a little bit, see if I can get a better signal. Let's try that. About that. So Jasper and I are here, ready to go this morning. There he is. There's the man. The astrological cat is here. There he is. Yeah. Steady as a rock. Steady as a rock. The thing I love about Jasper is that he works cheap. He really does. He's like at about 45 cents a day for this, right? He works cheap. Jasper, you're just perfect for the new world order because you'll just work for cat food. Let Jasper be the exemplar and the role model for the rest of you. If you're willing to work for cat food, you'll aspire to the levels of greatness that Jasper has achieved in his short incarnation here so far. Well, good morning. As you can see, I don't have anything here in the background. And I don't have anything in the virtual background either. And there's a bit of a reason for that. And what do we have here? Let's start this. And let me see, where's my chat? Where's my peeps? Where's my peeps? Oh, do I even have a chat? I don't even know if I have a chat. Let's see what we got here. I'm hoping that that we have a chat today, since my lords at YouTube have been so wonderful to me over the past week. I'm having to use a new computer. Well, it's not a computer, it's actually an old computer, which is why I'm having an issue with the virtual backgrounds because my CPU does not have enough juice. And I'm not even seeing chat here. Let's see. Give me 1 second. All right. I'm starting to see something come up here, which might be helpful. Live stream offline. What is that about? All right. So I've been taken offline. Fucking great. Great. 30 watching now. All right. That's not bad. Let's try to get it back together again. I do not see any chat. If somebody can see the show, can you guys, can you send me okay, hold on a sec. There we go. Finally. Thank God. Living in the fucking Stone Age here. Jesus. Okay. What do we have? We got Steve. There we go. It's happening. It's happening. Good, good, good. All right. So this is the deal right now. So this is a statement in a lot of ways, right? This is the barren statement of the world we're living in today. It's a gray wall. It is a gray wall that separates me from you. And on the other side of that gray wall is a world that is frankly unoccupied at this point. Right? So we had Occupy Wall Street. Now we have Occupy Your Home for however long this thing is going to go on. So I do have a plan today. There's some things I want to talk about. But again, the reason you're getting this today is because my other computer that I normally use, the one that has all the shitty sound, and the one that has the fan that's going 90 miles an hour, that's on its last legs. So I'm having to use my old backup computer, which is a circa 2009, with a slow, if non-existent CPU. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, this is a really good opportunity for you to do that, okay? Because it would go a long ways towards me being able to rebuild that computer and get a solid state hard drive and all kinds of other good stuff. And let me also show you something here, since I'm doing this and I have to continue to stay relevant and also be there for people, which I've been. This is a twofold exercise in a lot of ways. Let me just share this with you right here. This is my special that I have going on right now. This is the King Corona special right there. And this is where you can get a deep discount on my readings. I normally charge $177. I took 44 off. That's $133 for an hour. And then I got the 30-minute special right there. So why would it be good for you to have a reading or have a session at this point in time? We'll just ask Jasper. Health, adaptability, movement, resources, heroine activation, family issues, dynamics, spiritual growth, and soul work. And that last one is really where it's at right now. So if you are looking for a little clarity and a different way to tap into your life and your chart, here's your opportunity to do so right there. Bada bing. There it is. Okay. And you can always subscribe as well. Then the link to subscribe will be in the show page at the bottom. All right. So where are we now? Well, apparently they've passed the stimulus package. And if you're a good plebe, you'll get your $999 or $1,200 or whatever it is. And in the stimulus package, they say that you'll be able to get it by no later than December. This is one of the latest pseudo updates as to where we are. So you folks in England, Sticky, you may want to pay attention to this. Government coronavirus advisors say crisis will be over by Easter, but warn the next 2 weeks we'll see a continuous tsunami of cases, as they warn a third of deaths are healthy people. Professor Neil Ferguson from Imperial College London gave the warning. He said around 2 and 3 fatalities were likely already dying of something else. Okay. Thanks, Professor. But the government lockdown raises the prospect of a shortened outbreak. Coronavirus symptoms, what are they? And should you see a doctor? One of the government's top coronavirus advisors said the UK's epidemic will get worse before it gets better, but the peak could pass by Easter. So now the Easter date is a talking point for what's going on. We've heard Trump say not by Easter, but on Easter. He's pointing to the actual day itself. So something is brewing around Easter Sunday. Wouldn't that make sense? Of course it would. Professor Neil Ferguson added that a third of people dying from the disease could be considered healthy. But he thinks the NHS will now be able to cope with the outbreak thanks to the nationwide lockdown that was put in place this week. Okay, so basically what they did is they decided that they were going to take a wrecking ball to the global economy. The Fed has pumped trillions of dollars to all of its various Fed outlets all around the world. Okay, so the dollar is going to be so weak and so deflated that the proverbial ball is rolling down the hill now. It's a snowball, and it's going to continue to pick up both momentum and mass as we continue to move theoretically forward in linear time, even though apparently linear time has been stopped. Okay. Linear time has been stopped. There is no time anymore. Nobody's going to work unless you're work at a supermarket, or you're a Uber Eats driver, or somebody who's delivering food, or you're working at a fast food restaurant, or you're a first responder, or you're one of these people in a hospital that is sitting around waiting for coronavirus cases to show up. And quite frankly, they're not showing up. Now, there's something going on in Louisiana, apparently. I'd love to speak to somebody in Louisiana. Maybe I'll get my boy Darren on or talk to him down in Louisiana, find out what's happening down there. because apparently there's a rash of cases in Louisiana. We'll see about that. But consistently across all these different places and spaces that people are supposed to be checking themselves into, empty, 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 Cricketville. So how long are people? They're on a timeline now, right? They're on a timeline to figure out how long, how fast, rather, how quickly they can actually put these things together, all the bolts and pieces for the new economy and the new surveillance systems and their new world order. So they're on a timeline now, right? Let me continue to read this, and maybe Easter is that timeline. So, perhaps after Easter, Monday, all clear, everybody gets to go back to work. But guess what happened? $7 trillion was passed. Companies, corporations who were losing money right and left, and they were basically buying back their own stock. Companies like Netflix, which don't make shit, continually in the red, bleeding in the red, whose stock price is way overpriced and way overvalued, buying back their own stock. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to get bailed out. These corporations are going to get bailed out. In the meantime, 2.5 weeks is a very long time for a small business or somebody who's in the Fortune 1000, okay? The bottom end of the Fortune 1000. You're going to get wiped out. Like 2.5 weeks will wipe your ass out, quite possibly. And then guess what? They'll have achieved their goal. They'll have achieved their goal of wiping out small businesses and having a major torpedo into the middle class. Because, what's happening with the coronavirus is that the two classes, the one at the bottom and the one at the top, they're not affected. Poor people will always, they won't always be poor. I don't want to say that. Poor people who are poor now will be poor after this, okay? They're not going to get rich. The rich will be a little less rich unless, of course, you're part of that, 0.25% at the top, in which case, guess what? You just got a whole lot richer. So the people in the middle, they're the ones that have that are going to suffer the most. This is it really reminds me of 2008 with the election between Obama and McCain, and we had the housing crisis, right? And it just, it bled people, just totally bled people. Here we go. It's another hard bleed, total hard bleed moving into the so-called election in November. Here, let me get back to the main screen. There's some stuff I want to show you today. And I'm going to show you a very disturbing video. Oh, come on. Here we go. She's a good old girl, this old computer. It's kind of like, this is the emergency car. This is the emergency car that you bring out after the EMP uses to work. Old gal. Done thousands and thousands of readings on this computer, by the way, which came into my life in 2013. And it's a 2009 computer, okay? And I've already replaced hard drives and stuff on it before. So what's happening now? What's going on? What else is happening while we're all sitting at home and while we're all basically watching nothing on TV? Maybe dosing on some old movies. Perhaps so you have revisited and reacquainted yourself with your family. In which case, that's probably not a bad thing. I've like I said, I've had some wonderful experiences doing readings with people with their kids in the room. It's just been total blessing. Great stuff. And even if we move off of this thing and we get a pass for a few months, I really feel like we should. I mean, hold on. Here. Let me say this. If this thing ends in 2.5 weeks, again, I'm an advocate. You shouldn't go back Just don't go back. If they say all of a sudden all clear, here's what I would do right here, right? No, we're not going back. We got all this food now. We're going to hang out. We're going to hang out. So this 2.5 week thing, this Easter thing, it's like people will be so happy to get back to work. So happy. Don't go back to work. Keep your kids home. Professional sports, screw them, right? Screw them. What do we have here? What is this? Somebody just sent me something. I love to stay in touch with my peoples. Let's see. What do we have? Sorry, Robert. Heather Eland is my absolute favorite. Heart still mad love at you, though. Okay. Well, Heather's good. Heather's really good. I should know because Jasper and I taught her. That's right. She doesn't know it, but Jasper was transmitting the secret knowledge of cat astrology to her. Thanks, Shanna. I appreciate that. So I am of the mind now that if this thing goes just 2.5 more weeks, just stay home. Just stay home. It's like, screw you guys. We don't even have to fire a single shot to be a revolutionary force. Just stay home. Just don't go back. Of course, people will. They'll go, oh, please, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And people will run back to work and they'll high five each other and go, yeah, yeah, yeah. And they'll be all enthusiastic and they'll be like, oh, we've got a second chance at life. We've been on a respirator. Oh, isn't that an interesting metaphor? The ventilator, the respirator, the economy, the social economy, what we're doing, right, on a respirator. The whole thing's been on a respirator. And guess what? You get taken off the respirator and you get thrown back into the mainstream and into the current of your life. But it'll be a different world when that happens. I guarantee you it already is. Let me show you something. This is what's been taking place while you've been staying at home. This is what's going on. I'll do a little screen share here. Pay attention to this and pay attention to the dynamic. Look at the event, but pay attention to the dynamic here because the dynamic is almost as important, maybe even more important. Well, I don't know about more important, but almost as important as the event itself. All right. So some of you who follow me on Twitter, you probably know what I'm about to play. Check this out. So this is a guy, he tweeted this thing yesterday. And watch this. I'm going to get it going. I'm going to hit a full screen here. Come on. Oh, hold on a second. I gotta go back. Un momentito. Hold on one second. I gotta go back here. Stop. All right. I gotta do this. Perdón. There we go. All right, let's try it again. All right. And let me make sure I got this. One sec, because I want to be able to hear this thing. USP. All right. Let's see what we got here. Do test speaker. Should be okay. All right, let's try it again. So
at the school, what are you guys installing?
Any other questions?
No, you want to answer any of them?
Nope, I don't.
Why?
Because I don't have to. I don't want to.
Why are there 3 cops here that aren't even in cop clothes? I'm trying to figure out what. Church? I'm trying to figure out what everybody's doing at these schools.
Are you on private property there? Why are you parked in there?
That's a real deflective question.
It really is.
Why can't you answer any of
I
mine?
don't want to.
Because you're up
Why
to no
don't you
good,
answer
aren't
my
you?
question?
Are you trying to kill my kids?
I'm trying to kill your kids?
Yeah, what are you guys
You got some
doing here?
identification on you?
I don't think that
I think
matters.
we need to call some law enforcement over here.
I think
You're
we have
acting
some.
weird.
I haven't done anything wrong. I have rights.
You're coming over here asking weird questions.
Weird questions
Yeah,
that
weird
you won't
questions.
answer.
You think people are trying to kill you?
No,
and
I
your family.
don't. I'm questioning if you guys are installing 5G in this school. Because I have it on a good source that you are.
Okay.
And will you answer that question?
Nope, I won't.
You won't answer
Nope.
it? Okay, I'll make sure to share this record with
You
people.
go do that.
Thank you.
I got your plate.
Is that a threat? You have my plates?
I got your plate.
So you're what, gonna show up at my house and do something? I'm not afraid of you, man.
And you think you're recording and you think that's appropriate? Why are you recording this?
Because it's
Why are you
suspicious.
recording this?
Because it's suspicious. All right?
You think people are trying to kill you? and your
I
family.
think that you guys are installing 5G and it's very dangerous.
Okay.
And you guys are told to lie about it.
Stop recording me. You don't have my permission to record me.
Okay, this is a free
Stop
country.
recording.
Goodbye.
Stop recording.
I don't think so.
How about that? This is what's going on while you're sitting at home. They're getting into your schools, your kids' schools, and they're installing 5G. I mean, there's a lot more that's going on than just that, but that's a big just that. Am I right? Am I right? Yeah, I think I'm right. But do you see the important thing about that wasn't just the fact that there are things happening out there while you're not looking, or you're sitting at home and just trying to chill and make the best of this situation. It's 9/11, by the way. It's the guy. It's the guy that was installing that. Right. See, this is what happens when people are living in a low trust society and they're looking after their own self-interest, meaning they're going to get a paycheck. They're going to continue to sort of be slightly higher on the food chain or the pecking order of the person that just walked up there and asked them about what they're doing, right? And people will make these decisions all the time because they're based out of survival. These are survival-based decisions. And in most cases, people will completely fuck other people over as a result of this. Now, there are rare cases, or perhaps maybe not so rare cases, because there's a lot of rare individuals that are in the chat room today that actually follow this channel and a number of other channels, by the way. I'm not the only channel, obviously, who actually have spiritual awareness, some kind of spiritual awareness where it's elevated over that baseline kind of, I don't know, just that baseline need to survive and stay alive. And we all have it. Don't get me wrong. We have to have a roof over our head, and we have to have food on our table, and we have to be able to be healthy. I mean, those are three really important requirements. They're basic requirements that theoretically universal basic income might be able to address. But anything over and above that is considered a luxury in a lot of ways. But that guy is the type of person that would be our worst enemy if this thing continues to go past 2.5, 3 weeks, right? And people decide that, that they're going to try to, ride this thing out. That is an illustration of what we're up against. It's not the people with the tanks. It's not maybe it would be the UN troops, who knows? But it is not the assigned threat that we would perceive. That is the theoretical, and I say theoretical, threat right there. Somebody without a uniform, somebody without any official sort of justification or any official standing. These are the people that are going to be the biggest challenge if we stay in this place, because they will do anything. They will sell you the fuck out. They will snitch on you, and they'll snitch on you for any number of reasons. That guy with the cap, that was a classic dynamic between the guy with the camera and the guy with the cap. And the guy with the cap is somebody who doesn't have a soul. There's no soul there. He was a robot. That guy was a freaking robot, okay? And the guy with the camera had a soul. There you go. If you want to look at a dynamic between somebody with a soul and no soul, just watch that video. Again, you'll see it. It's not so hidden in plain sight. Somebody who actually has some resonance is trying to understand and what kind of harm might actually occur or be perpetrated upon the kids in a school where 5G is being set up. And then you have the Judas bastard who will do anything to basically keep his, lard ass alive. Okay. Sorry. I'm being a little hard on my fellow man, but he deserves it. Meanwhile, the guy with the camera, good job. Good job. Way to actually care and not just be a robot, So this is where we are. This is, we're headed into the true node in Gemini where the world's going like this, right? This is what Steve Crimmy was talking about 2 weeks ago. Which path are you on? Are you on the path with a soul? Or you're on the path with no soul, right? Which path are you on? Interesting. And what are we dealing with now? We're dealing with pathogens. Mm-hmm. I love this stuff. I had a really great chat with Emily yesterday. We talked about why YouTube is giving me such a hard time in a lot of ways, right? And Emily had a really, really great take on it. She said that the content was part of it, but it's really the chat room that YouTube has an issue with, okay? Because let's face it, Chatlandia, you are not practicing virtual social distancing. You guys are way too close. Way too close. You need to be able to have your comments further apart. So you should be commenting after every 6 comments in the chat room, just to appease YouTube. On a more serious note, there's something there. There is definitely something there, because I don't think they want people exchanging information. I don't think they want people to be able to support one another and help one another and heal one another. And this is why we're seeing the atomization of our communities, the atomization of our families, with our elders being separated from their grandchildren. They don't want any of that. And even being separated from each other, no touching, no hugging, no exchange of real vital oxytocin, which makes us feel good and keeps our cortisol levels down. And what's happening now? Most people's cortisol levels are through the roof. So what happens when your cortisol levels are through the roof? It screws up your entire endocrine system and you go into fight or flight, right? So these are all really important factors. So, Chatlandia, give each other a hug. Just hug it out in there. Just show YouTube that their virtual social distancing is just not going to work. It's not going to work. And look, I'm even being like I'm watching the screen. I'm just being so pixelated. So pixelated. Where are we in chat? Where it's at. Thank you. Thank you for being here today. Let's see, we got some people say it's keywords. I'm hoping all the kids don't go back and unschool. Me too, man. Something has changed lately. You bet something has changed lately. It's like living in a retirement community with the Seinfelds. Oh, that's good. Just because the people in this group are a threat to their twisted agenda. The Chatlandia is a force multiplier. That's what Chatlandia is. It's a total force multiplier. And Chatlandia extends beyond the chat room, right? It extends beyond the chat room because there are people that don't show up in chat. There are people who are who watch this content and other channels as well. Please, I don't want to just say that this is the only freaking channel on YouTube that has, enlightened people watching it. Far from it, right? But we can extend that out much further, much further. Update: I had a really nice Twitter exchange with E. Michael Jones. He's going to be on the show hopefully within the next 2 weeks. Steve reached out to him. That guy is great. I love him. He's so great. You know why he's great? Because he is a hardcore, staunch Catholic. And he knows what I do. Michael Jones is, he's a really bright guy. He knows what I do. He's been on my show twice. And I love the fact that he's willing to come on my show because I did that interview with him. What was it? I think it was it was last year. I did it at, I think it was last like January or February, right around there. I think it was right around Christmas. I was back with my mother. And so it was right around Christmas. God, it was over a year ago. Wow. Amazing. And I did that interview and I thought it was a great interview with him. His people, went to my YouTube channel and they saw that I'm an astrologer and they just shut me down. They shut me down. And Michael doesn't care because he's got a higher purpose. And I respect that. I totally respect that because a lot of these pseudo religious people won't give me the time of day, and he's not pseudo religious at all. That's a real dude. Anyway, he's going to be on the show in a couple of weeks, and of course, Ursula Pompilio and Stefan Verstappen this Friday. It's going to be a good one. And then my buddy Richard Grossinger, he's going to be on the show, and a wonderful cellist musician. Who I connected through the show, Hope Easton, is going to be on the show as well. And there's a lot of interesting creativity coming out now. I got a video from Jennifer Rubin. She may be in the chat room today. I don't know. Jennifer shows up. She's been a kind of a follower of the program here and the content. And Jennifer is a model and an actress. I think she was in the was it the Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th movies? She goes to the Comic-Con stuff, and she's a really super nice person. And she did a video. She put together this really interesting, very artistic video about Black Moon Lilith, and I'm going to play it. It's on YouTube. I'm going to play it on the Sunday night show. And the thing I love about the video is that, first of all, she did it herself. Second of all, it's not high tech. It is not slick. Third, it's kind of haunting and disturbing in a lot of ways, which I kind of like. and fourth, she plays all the roles and all the parts inside the video. So this is what happens when we have the compression of reality. It forces us on some level to get creative. So I'm gonna, hats off, Jennifer. And if you're in the chat room, say hello to her. I probably blew her cover, but that's okay because I'm gonna play her video on Sunday night anyway. So this is what's going on now. This is what's happening. It's we're having the ability to have creative response to our environment, as long as we don't get down. And that's a really important thing. And we need each other so that we don't get down. To me, that is the baseline, right? In Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the baseline is food, shelter, and health, right? Probably shelter first, then food. I don't know which one comes first. Health. You can't. Health. I say health, shelter, food. Probably in that order. Okay. That's Maslow, and there's there's some truth and value to that. But in a time like this, where this is as much of a spiritual crisis as it is an economic crisis, the baseline is to be able to support one another. That's what we have to do. We have to support one another. Because if we don't support one another, then we may be laid waste by demoralization. It would be really easy to be demoralized right now. And trust me, I have to exercise my demoralization demons in my spare time. There are things that I process and I have to go through in order to get to this point so I can look right into that little green dot right there and start to share stuff with you guys. Okay. So but we need each other. And what's happened is that they've created this fractalization of everything and everybody. And this medium and media right here, right now, with you in Chatlandia or over on Facebook. By the way, I got banned from streaming live on Facebook, which I never do, by the way. And I don't even know what the fuck I got banned for. They're not clear about it. These are forums that are important. Now, here's the deal. If this shuts down, and I mean this meaning YouTube, I am going to go back to 15 minutes of flame streaming live on that website. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And I'll have to crank that up and crank my relationship back up with that provider who allows me to stream live. But it's okay, and it's an option. And it's an option that I'll have in my back pocket, just in case whatever happens here, happens here. Now, if you haven't signed up for my newsletter, it's a way to stay in touch with me. Please do that. I'll be able to stay in touch with you and let you know where things are with the live streams or any other videos that I'll be doing. That's that. Okay, so I wanted to talk about something else that I think is kind of interesting in some ways. I was sitting around last night and I was thinking, what kind of a world would the climate change people and Greta Thunberg really envision and just wrap their ever-loving arms around? Well, it's a world where cars aren't on the road. It's a world where gas is cheaper than it's ever been and nobody's driving. It's a world where there are no lines at TSA and you don't need a fast pass or a clear or whatever to get through the airport Gestapo. It's a world where that happens, and there are planes with seats with abundant legroom. Take your pick, and nobody is on them. What do you got? What is this? Oh, you got your turtle. Bring the turtle up. Bring the turtle up. Come on, bring it over here. Come on, bring it over here. Jasper just hunted his catnip turtle. So funny, man. He's going to be high here soon. Come on, bring it up. Show everybody your catnip turtle. Jasper. See, this is Jasper. Jasper is demonstrating to us how to not be demoralized. I'm always learning from Jasper. So instead of just laying around and doing nothing, what does he do? He hunts his catnip turtle. And now he's anything but demoralized. Oh, now here comes Rosie. She's going to get in on it. Man, the cats are active today. You coming up? Come on up. You can do it. Oh, okay. Now, look at Rosie. Come on. You can do it. That's easy for you. Come say hi to everybody. It's cats galore. Look, it's Rosie Day. There's Rosie Day. Say hi to everybody, Rosie. There you go. Yeah, I know. Jasper got the catnip turtle. So just think about that. In their world, right? Gas is cheaper than it's ever been. and nobody's driving. There are no lines at the TSA, and you can pick any damn seat you want on the plane, and nobody's flying. Wow. We've just stepped automatically and magically into the post-carbon wonderland. It's like Disney just added a new world, if they were open. That's where we are now. So all of you climate changers, all of you climate alarmists, congratulations. Through your manifest, through your imagination, through your energy, you have brought your world into manifestation. How about that? You should be doing happy dances. You should go outside right now and start doing happy dances, but only in groups of 2 or 3, mind you. Okay? Because essentially, we have been moved back into the pre-industrial era of America. We're now living in the agrarian society, right? This is where we are now, without all the perks of the agrarian society, like land and farms and, things that, people that grow things, right? So this is kind of an interesting side effect of what we're experiencing now, in my humble opinion. Yeah. Yeah, Rosie. Hey, Shanna Bard. Thank you for taking advantage of the King Corona reading special. Appreciate that. So here we are. We're at the 2.5 week nexus, and it's the 2.5 week. It's going to be Easter. Will we resurrect? Will the world be reborn in a secularized version of freedom and the privilege to actually get outside of your house and gather together with more than 2 to 3 people? Or will this be a false resurrection? Will be a false resurrection anyway. Will this be a false resurrection? And will we continue to be quarantined even deeper and harder in our physical space? We're going to find out. We will find out by Easter. Easter is a major point here. It is a major node on the Rubicon. And if we do go back, if the world does return to some semblance of normalcy, it will never be the same. It'll never be the same. Nope. Because they know everything that they need to know about whatever it is that this thing was all about. And they will push the button again at some point in time. And the next time they push the button, there's no coming back. And if we go past Easter, there just isn't any coming back anyway. Period. End of story. Some people have been sending me some videos about, with Trump and these pressers, these daily briefings, and it looks like Rat Man is back. Looks like he's back on the case for now. So what's interesting about the pressers is that, they have the podium and the seal is gone. Like the seal with the eagle and the talons and the arrows, the quote unquote presidential seal is gone. Now they've got a placard that says, the White House or whatever. And then this flag, which still has the maritime fringe, is folded in on itself. And if you look at it, it has this kind of, crease in the center, which supposedly represents a country in crisis or a country in peril. Because the way that they hold a flag is a really, really, or the way that they have a flag is a really important signifier, symbol as to the health of the country, right? So that would be a flag in distress or a country in distress. So my question is this around these pressers: are they even at the White House? Are they above the White House? Are they below the White House? Are they outside of Washington, D.C.? Where are these things being held? That I'd be very interested in, because I'm not sure they're actually being held in D.C. And if they are being held in D.C., it's in a different location. I don't think it's the White House. And he does allow the reporters to come in there. right? But those are specially screened reporters. Do you even recognize those reporters? Do you recognize them? I don't recognize a lot of them. And apparently, one of the reporters is a guy that was in the movie Contagion, which I think Lawrence Fishburne is in. It's the same guy that's reporting on quote unquote COVID-19 as is in the movie. Talk about a Gemini mind fuck. You guys have seen that, haven't you? If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. You should totally check it out. And even when he's reporting the news, not in the movie, but in quote unquote real life, he doesn't even look real. He looks like an AI. I mean, we are literally like stumbling into a very surreal experience. And it's going to take every ounce of discernment and accrued wisdom and your connection to your higher mind, source, logos, God, boom. It's going to take everything to get through the time that we're in. And it's going to take each other, right? We got to keep ourselves up. We've got to keep the spiritual immunity up. It's really important. And you guys do a great job of it. You do a really great job of it. So I want to thank you for, being connected to me and helping me kind of get through this as well. Because I get up every day in order to do this. This is a raison d'etre for me. And I would be doing something else if I wasn't doing this. I'd be writing in my blog or whatever. But I want to thank you because you motivate me to do what I do. My own little humble piece around all of this. And it motivates the cats as well. Jasper, how's that catnip turtle? He's in a trance now. Jasper's in a trance. So now that he's in a trance, Rosie stepped in. She's like, okay, Jasper, I got your back. I got your back, love. You can't go on the air right now. You can't do it. So I'm going to step in for you. Isn't that right, Rosie? You're being a good kid. All right, let me check in with Chatlandia and let's see what's going on. Let's see. Thank you for bringing us. Let's see. What do we have here? Hey, Michelle, it's nice to have you back, by the way. Great to have you back. Mark Full, one of the positive things come out of the virus situation in the UK is reported uptake in growing your own food and raising chickens. This is one of the things, Mark, that we've been talking about here, right? We've been talking about this for a long time, right? Grow your own food, do a garden. Astrologically, this is where it's at, right? True note in Cancer. And I know people that are doing that. And yes, we need more of this. Don't stop. I mean, if they somehow flip the switch back on and they say, come back. We have your jobs waiting for you. And guess what? You get to keep those checks that we sent you. That's our gift to you for putting up with the hardship and the trials and being a good citizen and staying at home and quarantining. Thank you. But please come back. Don't stop your garden. Don't stop the chickens. This should be a wake-up call. If this is a test of the emergency broadcast system, you should be responding to the test and doing what you need to do. Period. End of story. So don't go back. At least don't go. If you go back, and look, some people are going to have to go back, but they'd be wise if they didn't, because that would be very powerful. I mean, wouldn't that just be really powerful? I would just love it, man. That would be my dream. That nobody goes back. They're like, I don't know. That work stuff was really overrated in a lot of ways. I just got into some hobbies. I'm really liking these hobbies. I rediscovered my wife. I rediscovered my husband or my partner, and my kids we're closer. We're playing board games. They're tired of playing the video game stuff. Man, thank you so much for this time. You helped us remember who we are and who we're not. Or the automatons that were getting in their cars and traveling 55, 60 miles every day to go to a job that for the most part you fucking hate, but put up with in some ways because you got a family to feed and you got a mortgage to take care of. And then at the end of the day, you got to go back another 60 miles and do the whole damn thing. You do it over and over and over again. And hopefully, somehow, some way, you feel like on the weekend, you'll be able to get some respite. That's the life that we signed up for. That's where it got de-evolved to. For some of you people, you're working 2 or 3 jobs. You ready to go back and work 2 or 3 jobs? Ready to crank that? I mean, I'm sure for some of you folks who have worked your ass off and your fingers to the bone, you're like, thank God, I've got some time off. Now, of course, it comes out of risk and it comes out of peril. The challenge with all this is that we could really help each other out. Like, this would be a great time, just an absolute great time to just, say, fuck it. Let's help each other out. You grow a garden, you grow a garden, you grow a garden, you grow a garden. I'll grow fruits. You grow vegetables. You grow herbs. You grow flowers. You get the chickens. You get the ducks. And then you just say, okay, let's go. Let's keep this thing going. Oh, what do you do? Well, I make candles. Oh, you make candles? Isn't that great? Well, why don't you start making some candles? Well, what do you do? Well, I actually, I sew, I make leather bags. Really? You make leather bags? I never knew that. Well, I had to put it off on the side for a while because I was so busy with work. I couldn't spend time making my leather bags. Really? Yes. Do you have any leather? I have some. Do you need more? I do need more, actually. Guess what? I've got a friend who I know really well who has a ranch and he's got a bunch of hides he's not using. Really? Well, gee, isn't that wonderful? God must have brought us together for this reason. Maybe God did bring you together for that reason. See, this is what we're missing out on. Okay. Instead, we're isolated, hunker down. We're hazmated in our own bodies, right? Hazmated in our own bodies. We've got Chemex protective suits wrapped around our souls. For those of you who have them, by the way. For those of you that don't have souls, boy, are you missing out. I'm telling you, it is a great fucking experience to have a soul. And I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you. But in some ways, I don't. Now, I will feel bad for you if you soulless husk are occupied by some agent of the Matrix. Then I have to deal with that. But other than that, I don't feel bad for you at all. I guess maybe I do. I don't know. It's like some people you just can't waste time on. You have to pick who you're going to care about and care for. Trust me, it's a selective process. What would happen if I called the Wilmar Police Department in Minnesota? I don't have that much power left on my phone, but what would happen if I did that? It'd be kind of funny, wouldn't it? Let's give him a buzz. See what happens here. Wilmar, Minnesota. Wilmar. That's an interesting name, isn't it? Wilmar. Like Will and then Mar. Mar being Mars, the planet that is the expression of the will. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's see. Welcome to the city of Wilmar. How about that? What do we have here? Let's see. Should I call the police department, Parks and Rec, Public Works, the fire department? Let's see. Let me just call the police department. See what happens. The Wilmar Police. Let's see. Let's call them up, shall we? Come on. All right, hold on. Here we go.
you?
Yeah, hey, Deb. This is Robert Phoenix from robertphoenix.com. We're an independent news and journalist service here down in Texas. And I was wondering if I could ask you a couple of questions.
Concerning?
It's a YouTube video that's circulating, and it has to do with
the administrator's office.
what's that?
I'm going to have you talk to the administrator's office and have you speak with Janelle.
That's great. Thank you.
Good morning, City Administration. How
Hey.
can I help you?
Yeah, hey, City Administration. What's your name?
Janelle?
Hey, Janelle. This is Robert Phoenix from robertphoenix.com. We're an independent news gathering and journalist service down here in Texas. And I wonder if I could have a few moments of your time.
We're kind of in the middle of an emergency city council meeting preparation, so...
Could I just get maybe 30 seconds? That's all I need.
Okay, I'll see if I can help you with anything.
Yeah. Are you familiar with a YouTube video that's been circulating about an event that happened at a school yesterday?
No, I'm sorry, I am not.
Okay. Well, you may want to check out YouTube because it's getting quite viral, pardon the pun, that there was a concerned parent who was looking at what was happening in one of your schools, and it looks like they're installing 5G. Are you familiar with 5G?
No, I'm sorry, I do not. I guess that's not much help for you.
Yeah. So check out YouTube. Look at Wilmar.
All right.
You'll be surprised, and hopefully you might actually learn something about what's going on in your schools there and how they're treating people that have concern about their kids.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Soul or no soul? Thumbs up for soul, thumbs down for no soul. So they're having an emergency planning meeting for the bustling metropolis known as Wilmar, Minneapolis. There we go. When I was a kid, I loved to do prank phone calls. Yeah, I was that kid. And oh man, stories. Bad prank phone calls. One time we shut down a bank. Long time ago. Different life. I think it was around 14 years old or something like that. Anyway, let me check in with you guys in chat. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's happening. They're playing dumb clueless. Yeah, definitely. Isn't that funny shit? Yeah. No soul. Got thumbs down. No soul. It's true. All right. You guys got soul. Like this whole soul thing. So I've got so many memories around shit. So one time I used to be on this, I was a producer for this college TV show called Peninsula Weekly. And it was through the College of San Mateo. So I was like, I don't know, 19, 20 years old. I was like this hotshot producer on the show. I was really good at it. Right. So, it was like a weekly talk show. We had guests and everything. We had a studio, and man, the cameras were ancient. They had the lenses that you could actually turn and stuff. It was crazy, wild. Right. One time we had this guy from KSOL radio. I think he might have been the program director or something from K-Soul, soul funk radio format station. And that the host of the show just couldn't be more white. Okay, he was so white. He was like Casper the Ghost white. And then the guy from KSOL couldn't have been more black. I mean, he had back in the day, having a bald head was kind of a big deal. Brother had a bald head, and he had a Fu Manchu. And, he was about 6'2", 6'3". And he sits down and he's talking with this guy, the host, Jeff. And so Jeff says, asks him, so-and-so, can you define what soul is? Because it's a soul music station. And he says, he looks at him, he gets real serious. He says, have you ever loved? He says, yes. He says, have you ever hated? Yes. Have you ever wanted to cry? Or have you ever cried? Yes. Have you ever wanted to, out of frustration, kill somebody? And he had to say, oh, yes. And he led him down this path. And he says, and this guy Jeff is shaking, right? And he says, brother, that's soul. It's like so great. It was like he couldn't even do the fucking interview after that. He just got in his head and went, nah. So the definition of soul is a broad-based experience where you get to have a number of different feelings, and it takes you into the totality of the human, right? All right. I'm going to get out of here. Y'all got soul. Trust me on that. You're all soul fam. Let me get back into Chatlandia. See where you guys are. Phone service might go down. We need a place and time to meet as a group. Should we be meeting in Colorado? Why don't we just follow the stand? Let's just all meet in Colorado. Whoever gets there, we could all like go to Glenn's house. Glenn's in Boulder. We'll just meet at Glenn's place. How does that sound? All right. You guys take good care. Okay. Take very, very good care. I'll be here tomorrow, 12 noon. And we're going to be joined by Stefan Verstappen and Ursulia Pompilio. You're going to love her, man. You're going to love this woman. She's like Florence Nightingale with a jetpack, okay? With a jetpack and a phaser. That's Ursulia. You're going to dig her. In the meantime, thank you for the people that actually got readings while I was on the air. I'm going to get to you. And you folks that subscribe, I promise you, I'm going to get your transit reports. I got some of those out yesterday. I'm just trying to keep all these plates spinning. All right. Use your head to discern what's real, your heart to step when it's possible. I'm Robert Phoenix. You've been watching, listening 15 Minutes of Flame, and have a great day. Stay up. All right. Stay up. Let's support each other. Let's not dip down into the dark pools of demoralization. Let's be exemplars and lights for each other. I'm out of here. See you later. Bye for now.